Welcome to your Platform Q learning experience. This video tutorial will show you how to upload files from your local desktop on Platform Q. This feature should give you the ability to mix up files on your desktop with legacy data quickly. There are a couple of learning objectives that we want to achieve in this learning video. The learning objectives are: understand that you can upload local files from your desktop on Platform Q, understand how uploaded data will be stored on Platform Q, and understand possible settings you need or can use to configure your file. You can either upload CSV or Excel files with the file upload on Platform Q. For each file type, you have different settings available. Please consider to read the embedded Platform Q documentation if you want to upload a file. This learning video focuses on the upload of Excel files. If you upload files from your desktop on Platform Q, the data will be immediately cached on a database. This is necessary because Platform Q does not have a direct link to your desktop. This snapshot of your data can only be configured during the upload process. Afterwards, you cannot change the configuration within the data sources application again. That means if you filter a file that comes via an upload, be careful. Otherwise, you need to upload the file again. This issue does not count for files coming from a file share system such as Dropbox or Share. In this case, Platform Q has a permanent link to the selected file. We have an Excel file on our desktop that is called Employees. We want to upload this file on Platform Q and create a new Q object that contains the data of the Excel file Employees. A quick look into the Excel file shows us that the first 3 rows of the sheet are empty. It makes sense to review the data before uploading it. You need to configure your Excel file first before you can upload it. Click on the Data Sources tile. There are 2 ways how to upload your MS Excel. You can either upload the file via the file browser, or you can just drop the file via drag and drop on your screen. If you have multiple sheets in one Excel file, you need to select one sheet. In our example, we are going to select the sheet Master Data. Before we continue, let's have a look at the possible settings that you can use here. In Setup, you can configure which data will be displayed. This contains the selection of the start row, how many rows you want to display, or how many rows you want to ignore from the end. Furthermore, you can identify the original data type and change it if required to your target's data type. In Conditions, you can use fields and operators to create simple filters. The creation of complex conditions is also possible if needed. You can also preview the data before uploading on Platform Q. Let's jump into Platform Q to see how all these configurations can be realized. One sheet represents one Q object. Via Setup Sheet, you can determine the column name's row. Remember that you checked your MS Excel before uploading it? Yes, we saw that the actual data starts in row 5 and the column names are in row 4. You can also limit the number of rows. In our example, we will limit the number of rows to 5. Keep in mind that this example works for our Excel file. You need to have a look at your own file to see if the setup fits. If you are finished with your setup, click on Setup Fields. You can see the field names on the left side. You can arrange the order of the field names in any way you want, and you can also change the name of the field. Furthermore, you can see the source system data type of the field on the right side of the screen. In the middle of the screen, you can determine the new data type, for example from string to decimal, to calculate with the values afterwards. Via Conditions, you can set up simple or more complex filters before you display data on Platform Q for the first time. In this learning video, we will use conditions to display employees from the sales department only. We click on Conditions. On top of the screen, you can see a conditions row that displays all created conditions for you. Now, this row is empty because we have not added any conditions yet. Time to create our first condition. We click on Add, and then we select the column with department because the value sales can be found here. Furthermore, we select the operator equal to. In our example, we search for employees from the sales department. Therefore, we have to add the fixed value sales. The field with the fixed value is case sensitive. Please be careful if you type in the value for potential spelling mistakes. You don't have to confirm your condition to continue, but you can see that the conditions row above contains one condition now. Let's move on to explore more functions. In Preview, you will see a preview of the data. This helps you to validate your setup. In Preview, the first 100 rows of data will be displayed. Please note that unpivot and conditions will not be displayed within the preview, only the raw data itself will be shown. Add a name to the Q object and click on Save. You will not be guided to the result set automatically. Instead, according to your configuration of your file, the data will be cached on Platform Q. The data is available as a Q object within the Data Sources application and can be used in the Business Object Builder and Simulation Workbench. Click on the Execute button of the Q object to display the data of the uploaded file. As you can see, there are only employees visible that are part of the sales department. Let's summarize what we have learned so far. The Data Sources application allows you to upload files from your local desktop on Platform Q. You can upload Excel or CSV files. Keep in mind that depending on the file type, you need to configure your file so that the proper data will be displayed. You can determine the column data row, start row, limit, but also filter data before displaying it on Platform Q. Excel files can be transformed via unpivot. There is also a preview function available to validate your setup, how the data will be displayed. This does not include filter and unpivot functions. Keep in mind that data cannot be changed after you have finished your initial setup. There is no permanent connection between Platform Q and your file on your desktop. However, the data of your file will be cached after the confirmation of your settings. Thank you very much for your attention. We hope that you have enjoyed this learning experience with Platform Q.